Hello traders, today is Tuesday, November 26, 2024. I'm going to go over 12 different names today. Keep in mind, this is not financial advice. This content is for educational purposes only. Do your own due diligence and research before you risk any of your capital in any type of investments. Let's start with Apple. And still looking very strong in my opinion. One of the things that I said, when was the last time? On the 20th, which was last week, is that Apple is looking very resilient and is looking very strong. I actually took some positions on Apple, 2 consecutive trades, and they were very profitable. So I like the fact that it's moving, the way it's moving. I love the consistency. I like the form or the way that is that did mount the 35 SMA, and after that went over 230, which was something that I mentioned as well. And then we are over 233 and well on our way to 237. Now, I think when we get to 237, we might find some challenging, not because lack of momentum, but just because we have a very strong area of resistance here. Other than that, I think obviously if we break or if maybe retest towards 233 or even towards 230, which that would be an absolute gift if that actually happens, retesting those levels, I think it would give us a little more momentum to continue going into all-time highs. MACD and TSI are looking fantastic. The chart in general is looking pretty good. So today was up another 1%. I did take advantage of this move yesterday. Today I was trading Amazon, but this whole thing looking fantastic. That is Apple for you. Just keep an eye on 237 and see if there is any type of reaction in that area, and your support level right now at 233. Let's move on to Amazon. As I mentioned, I was trading Amazon today, and I did pretty good. I did buy, well, I wasn't just trading today. I sold my my calls today, but I did have some calls that I bought on this candle right here, somewhere at the end of this candle. And that was on Thursday of last week, or actually Friday. I think I did buy on Friday. Anyways, I left them up until today, and today, let's go back to the 5-minute. I did sell on this candle right here. I didn't take the whole move. When I saw this move right here, I was like, I'm okay with what I have. And I'm going to see if this is going to retest or if this is going to maybe continue going up. But I was content with my profits at this point. I sold my entire position on Amazon options. And then I would probably reassess if there is a little of a pullback or not. But hey, don't be surprised if we actually mount the all-time high. Let's put a level right there, just because it is an all-time high level. But I wouldn't be surprised if we actually mount 216 and then continue going farther up. You have very low liquidity here, so this move might continue. MACD and TSI are not looking bad at all. The RSI is also about to cross the signal line. That is pretty good. And you have a price cap right here. So this is looking bullish. Now, a thing that I would really pray for is going back to 200 and then retest this level again and then move towards 216. If I see price action going back towards 200 or even that 35 SMA, as you can see here, we had a nice rebound on the 35 SMA or almost there. I would definitely jump into this position again, heavier than what I did last week, and then just ride it. This is looking good. Amazon is still looking good. Now let's take a look at so I mentioned AVGO. I'm just looking at my notes right now. So AVGO is coming next, so let's talk about it. But I did mention AVGO on the 20th, on the 23rd, which was Saturday, I believe. Friday, yeah, on the 23rd. So I was looking at this candle right here. I think this is still in play. However, we have to break this resistance level at 166. I don't think, at least for me, this is enticing at all if we don't get to break this level right here. However, if we break it, look at this area right here and look at this whole thing. It looks pretty obvious to me, at least. If we break this level at 166.5, we are definitely going to see, I shouldn't say definitely, but it's a greater possibility that we're going to see a move towards 173. And at that point, there is definitely money to be made. You have a volume shelf right here, but I'm not too worried about it if we break this area with a little bit of momentum. But then breaking 173, that means that you're going to go over the 35 SMA, and that will give you maybe more momentum. We'll see. MACD and TSI are not there yet, but again, this area right here looks a little bit neutral. I would wait a couple of days. I want to see what's going on. However, we have a short week. I think tomorrow is going to be obviously the last day of volume because we're closed on Thursday, and Friday we're closing at 1 p.m. I think Pacific time. Anyways, no, not 1 p.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Anyways, that's what I have for AVGO. It's still on a watch list, but it has to break this resistance level at 166.54. Now let's take a look at where are you? I think I mentioned CRM. No, I haven't. Oh yeah, I mentioned CRM on the 21st, but let's take a look at CRM again. And the reason why I'm looking at this, so I mentioned CRM on the 21st, so it is on this candle right here, which is Tuesday or Thursday, I'm sorry. One of the things that I'm looking at, and I could be wrong because we have earnings coming next week on the 3rd. Is that next week? Well, they're coming on the 3rd. This is a pretty obvious double top, plain and simple. But now we still have to have more confirmation on the next candles. You're down 1.6% after hours. So you're right here with this little, I don't know if you can see it, but this blue line right here. That is interesting. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's not too extended on the MACD and the TSI. However, they're a little, on the higher side. And the RSI is overbought, but it's nothing dramatic. So I'm not too worried about that. But anyways, keep an eye on this. I think if you have a double bottom here, a double top, I'm sorry, and then you have bad earnings shortly after, you're definitely going to go under the neckline, and there might be some opportunity to the downside. Either way, I do believe that if earnings are not too good or the momentum cycle of CRM is coming to an end, there might be an opportunity, especially if you hit 310 or if you go towards the 200 SMA. Keep an eye on CRM. It's looking interesting. It seems like something is forming. It's a little bit premature to actually call a double top, but we might have something there. Now let's take a look at Disney. And looking pretty good, in my opinion. One of the things that I was talking about back in the beginning of the month was, and if we break this level right here, which is this trend line, we are probably going to run. My only, I guess, concern was earnings, and if earnings didn't come too good, then this run was going to stop. Well, earnings were okay. Let's take a look. I don't remember earnings. Yeah, they weren't too bad. But then we had this run. We went over 113, which is this level right here of resistance. And now it seems like maybe we are going to either retest or maybe come down. You have this price gap right here. They're really interesting to see what happens. But at least for now, keep an eye on the support level of 113. This move was fantastic. I want to take a look. What is it, like 20% maybe? Since I called it. Yeah, 21%. Interesting. That was, if you had, let's say, if you're here in November and you had February or January calls, you would be in a pretty good place here. Anyways, interesting. Disney, keep an eye on this resistance level. Let's see if we can have no resistance. This support level at 113. And is there any resistance? I don't want to put that. Yeah. Actually, let's go and use this back candle right here. Okay. So I'm putting as resistance 160, 117, and your support right now is 113. So we'll see if we're going to retest 113 or maybe break resistance and see what happens. MACD and TSI look a little bit extended, but they're not too bad. The RSI is definitely overbought. So we'll see. It was down 0.47%, basically flat for the day. Let's take a look quickly to the 5-minute. Nothing really out of the ordinary in the last 2 days. Okay, that's what I have for this name. Let's move on to a name that that I told you that might start moving, and that is ENPH. Let me take a note right here. I've been talking about ENPH here and here. So here for this move and here for this tiny move right here. One of the things that I was saying was we want to see this reaction on support at 59.8 and then see what happens if we break resistance at 73.5. It seems like it's having a hard time, especially today, but yesterday you had an 8% day. The day before you had on Friday, the prior how you call it, the prior trading day. Sorry, somebody was calling me. It was up 4%. But anyways, I don't think I want to get into this until we break 73.5. It's that simple. I like how the MACD and the TSR are looking. That is fine. But I just want to see momentum. I don't mind being down almost 2% today. That's fine. But I don't think it's tradable for me, especially trading options, if we don't break this resistance level at 73.5. Keep an eye on 73.5 and keep an eye on basically 60 as your support level. I think if we come down to support, it wouldn't be bad as long as we retest and continue going up. The reason I'm saying that is because if you get into range right here, then something juicier is going to come. Remember what I told you about Datadog is fading, but look at Datadog. We had this move right here. I called it right here. We went all the way up to 156. So I think for now, ENPH is something that I want to wait. I'm looking at this and now I'm thinking, let's go down to 60 again and let's range on this area just to make it better. But not tradable for me until we break 73.5. Now let's move on to one of these names that is lagging, but not because it's basically because the DOJ is still pooping the party. But anyways, we had a rejection on the 35 SMA, a rejection on 170. I wish that was better, but at least we got these little 2 green candles right here. We'll see what kind of reaction we get tomorrow. It would be fantastic if we break 170 and or 171 and then continue going towards 175. One thing that I'm not too familiar exactly with, I know the basics of what is happening with the Department of Justice, but I think if the judgment is in favor of Google, well, obviously what we all know is that this thing is just going to rally crazy. Now, if the verdict or I guess the decision is against Google, then I really see a tremendous opportunity to go short, and it would probably tank very dramatically, in my opinion, towards easily 150 or 140 area. So let's get this done. So that's all I have right now for Google. Keep an eye on the 200 SMA. Keep an eye on this area, but then we're waiting for a catalyst that is gonna dictate the direction of this stock. Let's move on to our friends on HIMS. And let me take something really quick. Okay. Well, this was I couldn't make a video yesterday because something came up last night, and definitely priorities. But I was very impressed with this move. If we go to the 5 minutes, so we can see what happened yesterday. We had this jump right here, right off the bat, and then you continue going up like crazy. and it didn't stop the whole day. I was quite impressed. I was looking at this on my phone, and I was like, wow, man, this is a very special stock, and in every single, especially on the technical level, because it really keeps you, I you know I don't know, there is so much going on, but in a good way. Now, this definitely was a move that I wasn't anticipating. We definitely went and cut through my price target of 25.5, and then we got to all-time highs yesterday, and we hit all-time highs today. Let's take a look at the 5 minute again. I want to see today. You had, yeah, you had this sell-off in the beginning of the day, and then buyers came in, sellers came back again. I kind of welcome the -2% for the day. But I want to share something with you, because I've been thinking about HIMS a lot. And where is this thing? Is it this one? No, I actually don't need two of them. But I had an indicator which I cannot find. Let me see if I have it. I want to see where it is. This one. Okay. And look at this. So this is a total revenue indicator. And you definitely want to see a chart like this. Let's go to the weekly. Maybe we can compress it a little bit more. Let's go here. Yeah, look at this thing. So you have this formation right here, this round bottom right here, which normally you see it better on weekly charts, but round bottoms, work better on weekly charts, but it looks better on the daily chart in the case of HIMS. But that being said, look at this whole thing. And you see this just keep going up and up and up. And then you had in September and towards now a 27.22% increase of revenue. That is fantastic. So I'll tell you a story, and I hope I don't spend too much time on it. But I started trading back in 2011. I had an account on with Scottrade. It doesn't exist. Scottrade doesn't exist anymore. But I would just trade silly stuff, and I remember I had positions on Merck and positions on Citibank and just stuff like that. But as my trading started evolving, you know, I started building a serious positions back in 2016 or 17, and I started buying Tesla. And I remember I was very interested on AMD, and I was interested. I think AMD was 2017. And then 2018, I started buying Neo and a bunch of. I was in Bank of America, Coca-Cola, Starbucks. Anyways, but my logic behind it, because I wasn't too focused on technicals, I was more focused on something that I got very interested on, and was the ROE, not the ROI of a business, but I will always check the ROE on a business. And the ROE is the return on equity. And basically what the return on equity tells you is what management is doing with the assets of the company. And the reason why I got into that is because I have a background in tech. I have worked for some of the biggest tech companies in the world. Some of them you use them every day, and I'm not gonna get into details, but I specialize in business operations and business efficiency. And so I knew that the decisions that I would make, considering that the budgets that I would handle were so big, that sometimes those decisions that either myself or my team would take would actually have an impact on the stock of these companies. So it was very important for us to maximize what we did with the assets of the company, and that is why my thesis, behind my portfolio back then, was focusing on companies that would do great with the return on equity, and therefore what management and what the talent in the company was doing with the money and the assets of the company. That being said, when I see something, I'm not a fundamental trader anymore. I did pretty well with AMD and Neo back then, and I got to a point in which I sold all my positions, and I allocated my money into something else. But anyways, um, this when I see this, it takes me back to what my thought process was when I was trading back in 2000, between 2016 and 2019, pretty much. Um, and um, and this looks phenomenal. Now I don't know much about the fundamentals of HIMS, but I know enough to know that this company um, definitely has something very strong going on. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You see it in a lot of different metrics. You see it on the chart, but you also see it on management, and you also see it on on numbers. The numbers are never gonna lie, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. It's not a price target that, but in the next uh, 2 to 3 quarters, we're probably gonna be in the close to 50, or and I'm being very conservative, or even close to 60 as far as a price point of the stock. I was also thinking about, well, what I keep saying, that Amazon is a threat, which I do believe that, but Walmart was also a threat, and I'm saying it was because they couldn't pull it off. And I also was thinking, if somebody like me, who is just a retail trader, um, you know, and other people like myself, I guess, have those fears um, about Amazon coming into this sector. Well, in reality, I'm pretty sure that management and HIMS have that same understanding. They know what are the challenges that the market is going to bring, and I'm pretty sure that they are very aware of basically what would be the next move for them to make sure that HIMS continues to perform in a positive way. I don't want to say perform the same way it's doing, because if you bring competition, things might get a little bit bumpy. It's understandable. But I'm really thinking, these people, this management team is pretty serious, and it shows in numbers. It shows on the chart, which is sometimes not the best indicator, right? Because there's a lot of, I guess, factors that come up with a chart like this, right? Like news, catalyst, short reports, short sellers, supply and demand in general. But the numbers don't lie, and I think the executive team in HIMS and is definitely doing things right. And yeah, after seeing this, I was like, and after looking at other stuff in the last 2 days, I was like thinking, really, this company is probably in a very good point. One of the things that I want to share with you is that I would love, and you can hate me as much as you want for this, but I would love this thing to go back um, towards 25 at this point, or even towards 23. Another thing that I want to share is that, keep in mind this level right here. I don't think that 18.7 is off the table. This is gonna sound crazy because I just told you that this might go up to 60. Yes, but I think that there might be a lot of volatility. I think there's a lot of interest in this company, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of shake-offs like you saw here. So I think 18.7 still, now I feel like it's a pretty far away, but it's still in play. 21.7 definitely, 23.5, and then you have these levels right here that are more realistic. I would love to see this coming down to 25.5, so I can actually, if that actually happens, or even 23.5, I would probably buy July calls heavy. I would definitely jump heavy on HIMS. Right now, I don't have any positions on HIMS, but again, HIMS has been super generous with me. And I just want to take a look at something before I finish with. Look at this thing. So my level is 18.7. I just wanted to see how far this could go, and it goes back to 2021. A little lower. Wow. Okay, so I was off by 10 cents, I guess. Anyways, um, yeah, this is pretty good. I think I would love to see, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but I would love to see a pullback for HIMS. Um, Definitely what I was mentioning on my last video, I believe, about momentum cycle, we're still in it. I was starting to think that maybe we're chilling a little bit. No, we are definitely still on a momentum cycle. We'll see what happens. Let me take a look at Hood, because Hood is also on a momentum cycle, and I'm also waiting for this to have a pullback. But don't be surprised if you get a pullback. I wouldn't be afraid. I mean, if I see a pullback, I will probably gonna buy in. Um, this is a well managed company, and it's a company that has not only the products that it has now, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna come up with more stuff. Um, this is looking great. In a lot of ways. The chart, to be honest, it's a little bit funky, a little bit crazy, but is to be expected, especially on a company that is trading at levels of $30 per share, and with the market capital that, let's say, with the market cap, couldn't say that word, with the market cap that is the size of HIMS, but it's looking good. Seriously, let's wait. At least I guess I'm telling myself, let's just wait for a pullback, so it might be an opportunity to jump in. Liking HIMS more than before actually. And this chart, again, it might bring you headaches, yes, but I think long term there is definitely a vision, especially from the side of management. Anyways, that's all I have for HIMS. Let's move on to. Oh, I actually have Hood next. Um, so let's do Hood. Um, I spent like 13 minutes on HIMS. I want this to pull back really, really bad. I just saw a gap right here, which is wishful thinking, in my opinion. This is tiny, but I would love for this thing to actually come down to lower levels. You have low liquidity here, so don't be surprised if you continue coming down. But this still has momentum, in my opinion, to continue going up. Still, it's extended on the MACD and the TSI more than ever. So we'll see where we end up. Let's see, what do you have here? No. Okay. I'm not gonna put any levels here, to be honest. I just want to see it's coming down a little bit so I can actually jump in. I like Hood um to the upside, but it's a little bit extended. I think it needs to chill a little bit, and then after that I would probably get in. That's why I thought I had more for Hood, but no. Looks like the momentum cycle might be coming to an end. We'll see. But for now, I'm gonna put a level here and see how that works, because it was resistance and then support. So we'll see if we 34.8 wouldn't be bad. I think that Hood is a $60 to $70 stock, and that would probably be reached next year. So I'm personally looking for stocks that I can actually pay or buy calls that could go, July calls for next year, or even October of next year or something like that. Really go far on those calls. Anyways, let's move on with I have Microsoft for today. Let's do Microsoft. Pretty decent day for Microsoft, if you ask me. It's getting tighter. I did put a post on X about this. It's just getting tighter. I want to see a move towards 430, and maybe after that I will probably get in. I love the fact that we are very solid over the 35 SMA and the 200 SMA. I love that. MACD and TSI still neutral, in my opinion. RSI is already pointing up over the signal line. 430, I think 415 is a thing of the past, at least for now, and we'll see how we react. But today was pretty strong. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. Yeah, today was, wow, man. Today was a beauty to trade. Look at this. I was trading Amazon today, but look at this thing. Beautiful. Um, So yeah, I think if we start going towards or if we actually cross 430, I will probably jump in with some March calls and then let them ride for a little bit. That's what I have for Microsoft. 430 is your support, your resistance right now. And let's take a look at Nike. Not too good. You know, I was looking at this in the morning and I was telling myself, you know, it. I really wanted to buy this breakout right here, but you know, I told myself just wait, break this resistance level at 79, and then it's going to make more sense. And I guess I was right. Today was down, or Nike is down 2.8%. Earnings are coming in 2 weeks, I think, in December 19th. So I don't know. I want to be bullish on Nike, but it has to break this resistance level. Uh, you know, it got rejected on the 35 SMA, it got rejected on 79. I feel like kind of like MPhase that it can break that. I think that level of not the level of what is it, 76 or something. I just mentioned MPhase anyways. So I'm in the same boat right now. You know, MACD and TSI were looking decent yesterday, but it's not looking good today. Now we'll see if we actually come back towards 79 and mount it. If that is the case, and if there's momentum, then you have a better, I guess, a better reason to start formulating a thesis to go long for Nike. I don't want to go short on this. I don't want to go short on any name right now, to be honest. But I also want to be cautious on how I enter my positions. If you, in this case, if I'm not breaking this resistance level, I don't want to touch it. Let's move on to, I don't know what happens with Palantir. I couldn't see Palantir the whole day. What is this? Trading trading view. Is it trading view, whatever. That's how much attention I pay to those things. Anyways, Tesla. Hmm, you know, not a good. Let me take a note before. Not a good look on this candle. I think this is gonna continue going down towards 313, which is fine. If we retest that level, I think we might go back towards 365. To be honest, I think that Tesla within 1 quarter or two is probably gonna be over the 400. That's just my opinion. But for now, I think that we can hit 314 easy, which is this level right here. I wouldn't be surprised. My range for Tesla, and I've been doing this, is since we were down here at 163, we were moving ranges. But my range right now is 300 to 365. But I think we're going to go down towards 315, 314, maybe even 300 first, and then probably continue going up. Today was pretty much flat. It is a little up or higher after hours, but this kind of moves after hours don't say anything. Don't mean anything. Anyways, MACD and TSI are looking horrendous, especially the MACD, and the RSI is looking just fine. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, this is Tesla. So Tesla trades like, if you've been around for a while, Tesla is gonna trade like Tesla. So it could give you surprises anyways. But again, let's put my range at 300 as support, and resistance right now is 365. That's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.